third quarter of 2005 is over, which means this is the start of the fourth quarter, final quarter of the year, and the plan is to end on a strong note. So in this video, I'm just gonna go over my third quarter performance, if I achieved my goals or I didn't, and I probably won't be able to do all of that because I don't remember exactly what my goals were because I wrote so many down and I don't feel like going back and looking at my other old videos to find the goals. So I'm just gonna try and go over those goals off the top of my head, and then I'm gonna go over the new goals that I have set for the start of the fourth quarter, which means I have from now, which is October 5th of 2025 until December 31st to get all of this stuff done. And I think I should be able to achieve these goals a little bit easier than last quarter. Last quarter was crazy, but overall successful. Probably my other two quarters should have been like the third quarter, but they were not. But anyways, everybody moves at their own step. So hello, everybody. My name is Eddie Cespedes. Welcome to my $1 Million Diary, where I document my journey on going from zero to $1 million in net worth. To start off, I'm going to go over my third quarter goals, and we're going to see which ones I accomplished and which ones I didn't. Luckily, I was able to find a bullet point list of my third quarter goals here on my phone. So I'm just going to read those off. So for quarter three, my goal was to obtain my funeral license, which did not happen. And it was to be twice the basketball player I am now, which is very vague, but I think I'm going to say that I did complete that one. Actually, I'm going to check that one off. Then it was to reach 185 pounds in maximum weight. I'm still 194 as of last week. So that goal was failed. It was also to curate my IG. That didn't happen. My YouTube channel, the initial one that I had started, it was to post 500 videos. That did not happen. And then I wanted to learn more AI. That did not happen either. And then on rental property number 3, I had wanted to finish that project off. And again, that did not happen. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals, and I was only able to check off one of them. So that's a little bit tough. I think these are the ones that I made public. There was other personal goals that I had. I actually was able to achieve some of those. Like as far as financial goals and whatnot, like I wanted to get a 3-month emergency fund already saved in my savings account because my savings account was a little bit, below comfort level. I was able to achieve that. Some other things I was able to achieve was, so I didn't obtain the funeral license, but I did take the national board exams. I did pass that one. That was the sciences. That was the last one. So I'm done with the national board exams. Now I have to take the state law exam to get my funeral director's license and embalmer's license. So that's still a work in progress. And I didn't get a chance to curate my IG. To be honest, I have made a lot of lists. Like my list was pretty long, and I think I made a video on it. And I know I broke all of that down, but I just, again, those videos are like 25 minutes long. So I should probably work on trying to get those videos from 25 minutes to the 10 to 15 minute range, just for my own sake, since I'm really the only one that goes back and looks at these videos. And like how I'm doing right now, where I'm rambling, that's what I end up doing in those videos. And then they go for 25, 30 minutes long, and I never go back to watch all of that. So it makes it very difficult. So anyways, moving along. Those were my goals for 2025, the ones that I have listed on here. This was a very early adaptation of those goals. The real ones were on the previous videos that I made. So yeah, there's that. As far as the AI, I kind of stopped on trying to do the whole YouTube AI channel. Like I still have it. I'm working on it, just slower, only because I feel like I think I bit off a lot more than I could chew, and I was trying to do way too many things at once, which was spreading me thin. And then ultimately I was moving nowhere. I was moving in zigzags, but I wasn't really moving in the right direction. So for the third quarter, I think what I was able to do well was recalibrate my focuses and start cutting a bunch of things off and just really focus on a couple of main things. So that's my 2025 third quarter goals. I think I set too many, so I couldn't really accomplish that much. As far as fourth quarter of 2025, 2025, starting October 1st. I have a list right here. I kind of, simplified this a little bit more. So as far as the project goes on that rental property that I have, that I started in the second quarter, did the main stuff, but never really finished. I want to go back at the end of this quarter. Well, by the time that this quarter ends, I want to finish that house. Everything that needs to get done, I want to try and get as much of it done. If really, I would like to complete it so that going into 2026, I don't have to worry about that house anymore. There's other stuff that I have to worry about as far as like finances, trying to cut down on certain things. But as far as the property, the structure, and the dwelling, I want all that to be completed. So a few things that I have to do there is I need to finish painting the outside of the house, which I've been doing myself. It's just really hot during the summer for me to do that. I need to finish the roof. Again, in Florida, it's hot. The drywall, I need to dry those drywalls out, see if there's any mold in there. I'm gonna need to replace that. And then I need to try to reduce the bills if possible. So far this year, I've been trying to reduce the bills, and it just looks like it just keeps going up no matter how hard I try to reduce it. So I was able to lower the mortgage. I was able to lower the mortgage payments, but then the electric went up just as much as the mortgage went down. So that kind of canceled out. The internet ended up going up. The water ended up going up. Everything just went up. So my expenses on the house are up. And that's also the rental that I don't make any cash flow from. If anything, it's a cash negative property right now. So that's as far as real estate goes for the rentals. The next thing that I have to do is, as far as real estate, which I didn't add to this list over here, but I'm going to add now. I have one tenant that their lease is up in December, and they ended up calling me, telling me that they found a house, so they don't want to renew the lease. So now I have options, because that house is over on the east side of Orlando where my parents live and my wife's parents live. And I've been thinking about, for the start of 2026, or maybe at some point in 2026, moving back to that side of the city so that our newborn baby could be closer to family. So that's a must. The only issue that we were having was that I don't want to rent, but I was considering renting as an option. And I would prefer to buy another property and seeing if I could use the excuse that we now have a child to maybe get some preferential treatment within the mortgage application, which, by the way, that is a thing. You could do that if you structure your your letter to the bank correctly. You can get some preferential treatment. It happens. So it's between that and renting. Now, if we were to buy a property, then I will be looking at trying to buy a property around September of next year, so closer to the end of the year. And that's assuming that we can get all of our finances in order. Now, that's a bit of a long shot, because the loans that we have on the other property, that I have on the other properties, are kind of really killing our chances of qualifying for a good house. Because I would ideally like to, my next house purchase be the house that I plan on staying in and having my family stay there and kind of raising the kids there until maybe at least minimum another 7 years. So now that this came up where this tenant doesn't want to renew the lease, and before all of this happened, they were saying like they had no plans on like really ever leaving the house, but then I guess they got dogs, and now the dogs are getting too big, so now they ended up finding a bigger house with a bigger yard and all of that, and it was all for the dogs from what they were telling me. But now that ended up happening, and they're not going to be staying there long term as they originally said, which is fine. I need to figure out a way. Well, I'm contemplating if I want to move back into the house. And right now, as the days go by, I'm closer to like a 85, 90% certainty that I'm going to end up moving back into that house. In which case, if I do that, I could be back on the east side of Orlando before next year. The only roadblock that we have is I will need to try and work something out with my parents, because that rental property, is a rental property owned between both me and my parents, and we co-manage that property together. So I would need to convince them to let me in there. Maybe I would just make and some extra payments. Like obviously I will pay the mortgage, but then maybe I would need to pay another couple $100 or so to my parents to allow me to stay in that property, since that's business, and business and family, we try to keep that separate. So I have those issues to deal with, and these are third quarter issues. So I'm gonna have a vacancy regardless. Whether I move into the rental property, and then the property that I'm living at now, I had to put that for rent. So either way, this quarter I'm gonna have a vacancy, so I got to resolve that. And as far as finance, my net worth is currently about 337,000. The goal by the end of this quarter is to get it to an even 350. So if we get to 350,000, I will be happy for this year, mainly because the last 2 years I've been stuck between 265 and 280. I've just been really flat as far as net worth grows, and that's since 2023. I just I could not get over that hump of we'll just average it out to about 275. As far as e-commerce goes, the last couple of months I've been selling on eBay, and I've had some pretty good success. So I've made a decent amount of money. The goal for third quarter is to double down on it. And the whole eBay thing is the reason why the YouTube just completely slowed down, because I couldn't do YouTube and focus on the national board exams at the same time. While all that's happening, I still have a full-time job. And with all that, I still have a newborn at home that needs a lot of tending to. So it was a lot. Like, this whole parenting thing is not easy. So for this quarter, I want to just double down and mainly focus on the whole eBay thing and try and double down on it, see if I can get kind of a business plan going. And I don't want to form an LLC yet. I won't do that until next year, just because it would just be nice to have that at the start of the year, and then I don't have to worry about paying the annual report fee and all of that stuff. Yeah. So, but for the third quarter, I kind of want to operate as if I had an LLC. I just don't want to create it yet. And then if I end up having moderate good success doing it, then it'd be even better, because by the time that I move out of the current condo that I'm in and I can get into a house with more space, I really think I could do a whole lot more sales. I can open up a lot of different avenues and different things that I could sell. I could do a lot more projects as long as I have space. Where I'm currently at, I don't have a lot of space. So I'm very limited on what I could do. So that's the e-commerce thing. If maybe that won't be a project for third quarter, maybe that will be for first quarter of 2026, but I'll just leave it in here for now. My Etsy account got bombarded with back-to-back bad reviews. One of them, I forgot what the first one was, but yeah, I forgot what the first one was, to be honest. But the second one was complete BS. Like it was complete BS. They said the product was defective. The product was not defective. It really was not. But I even let them keep the product, and I refunded them everything in hopes that they would change their negative review to a positive review. And I learned my lesson, because I think I've done that 2 or 3 times already. Whenever you get a bad review, it doesn't matter if you try to correct it. The customer typically, at least I'm 0 for 3, they never go back and update the review. So that's unfortunate, but I mean, 2 out of 3 times I have tried to correct the problem, and I did correct the problem, but the review never changed. And then one of those 3 times, it wasn't my fault at all. It was the person. You can't please everybody. So I want to try and add more to I want to grow the Etsy store as well. But again, one thing at a time. As far as personal stuff goes, I'm saying this now, I don't know if I'll really do it, but it is on my goals of things to do. I want to take the law exam for Florida so that I can get my license. And we'll see if that happens. That one's kind of difficult. I know I'm going to need to lock down and focus for that. But man, even just looking at it here, it kind of just like throws me off. And I also want to document. I've been doing a lot of documenting, and I want to, maybe not here on the YouTube channel, but I have a website where I do document everything, mainly because if I write it on my phone, it takes up space. If I have it on a website, I could just go ahead and kind of blog my stuff, and it really just, it stays on the cloud, and I don't have to worry about space. So I want to be able to at least document 90% of my days. I've been doing good so far. Like that, in the last probably 2 weeks, I've been doing pretty good. And then again, for personals, to figure out my living situation for 2026. Let's see. As far as health, now I re-added getting to 185 pounds because I gave up on that like probably towards the last month or so, last couple of months of the third quarter. For this quarter, I do want to get to 185 pounds just so I could be in better basketball playing shape. And I want to touch rim in the basketball court. So one of my goals for 2025 was to touch rim, since I've had ACL reconstruction surgery, and it's been a pain trying to just get through it. Normally they say the recovery is about 9 to 12 months. For me, it was closer to 2 years. What, 2025? Yeah, for me, it was probably like about a year. I'm gonna say it was probably like 20 months for me to like really feel good. And right now I feel a whole lot better. I feel the best that I've felt since 2019 when I first had the injury. So I said that I wanted to touch rim, and I'm gonna need to update that. So last Friday I actually touched rim. I touched it like with these, like I gripped it like that, and I was even able to pull it down a little bit. So that's already checked off. So that doesn't even matter. But I think I'm going to update it to touch rim with two hands. And then maybe sometime in 2026, I can get my first dunk since 2019. So we're going to update that right now, actually. Touch rim with two hands. So yeah, that's the goal for the second quarter. Touch rim, touch the basketball rim with two hands. That is the goal. So that's my health goals. And that's really all I have. So to recap, I want to finish all the projects that I have on that third rental property. I want to get my net worth to 350,000. Keep working on eBay. Keep being consistent. Take the law exam. Oh, I also want to create systems. I forgot about that one. So I need to create more systems. I've noticed that it's hard to be consistent when you don't have a system in place, a system in your life. So I've been trying to work on creating systems. And so for the third quarter or fourth quarter, I want to have systems in place so that I can start the new year with the right habits. So there's that. Get to 185 pounds, touch basketball rim with two hands. That should be pretty easy, pretty simple. Again, let me just go over it one more time just for myself. Finish. Oh, I got to find a tenant as well. All right. So find a tenant, finish project on the third rental property, net worth to 350,000, continue going strong on eBay, take law exam, document, create systems, 185 pounds, touch rim with two hands. Yeah. So that's what we have for the third quarter. And hopefully this video is a lot shorter than the other ones that I've made, so that I can go back and look at this and understand everything that I have. Or better yet, I can write those goals in the description so then I don't even have to go through the video. Jesus, I'm so smart. Just kidding. But anyways, that's all we have right now. And I will see you, mainly I will see myself next time.